friend Cherie here. Welcome back to the channel, Gardening at Home with Cherie. We are back to sow some more seeds for some perennial crops that will be added to my outdoor garden in 2026. Today's vegetable is rhubarb. And so I have 4 different packs of rhubarb that I'm going to sow. So I'm going to do 3 of each. So let's get the labels ready and sow some seeds. Okay, so our first 3 cells are going to have seeds from a packet that's labeled Rhubarb Breeders Mix. Now the package says that it's a mixture of at least 4 varieties of rhubarb. It says to pick that each seedling will be unique and just pick the best ones for the garden. Doesn't have any imaging or any names of the mixture. It says to sow them, grow them, and give them a new name. So I'm probably gonna put like maybe 3 or 4 seeds per cell. And you know, rhubarb, when I've grown it before, it grows, you know, pretty nicely indoors, and then basically I have to just keep up potting them. And so that's what I'll be doing with these, because it's not afraid of like cold weather. These actually go out onto the screen porch, but actually will go into my greenhouse as soon as the temperature stabilize and stay over freezing in the greenhouse. Probably I'll be able to get those out of, you know, the house and pot them up into big pots and then have them in the greenhouse. At least that's my thought process and plan right now. But let's get this package open and I'll show you what the seeds look like. So here's what rhubarb seeds look like. And honestly, I mean, all the seeds look pretty much the same. So definitely can't differentiate the varieties based on the seeds, it looks like. So I'm gonna put 3 per cell because they're a little big. And again, I'll be, you know, separating. And then again, I'll be separating these, you know, based on what germinates. And yeah, I can always, you know, if these all pop up pretty quickly, or if the germination is low, I can, early enough that I can still sow some more of these later on. We're still, you know, it's January yet, so I got a lot of time before I'm gonna have to have things ready to transplant outside. And so I already have quite a number of rhubarb plants on the property. I only have 2 right now, actually 3 that I harvest from because they're old enough. Though last year we had a crazy situation where we had ground bees under my 2 big rhubarb plants. And so I did not harvest from that area because I didn't want to fool around with those bees. And so, yeah, we'll see this year, you know, what happens. And another part of the garden, and those are ones that I grew myself. And this year I should have actually more that I can harvest from. And I plan to plant these in the front garden as well, actually all around the property now, both inside and outside of the fencing, because they're just nice foundation plants for my garden. And so the next one we're gonna do, this is a variety that I picked these up in Italy years ago. So I'm hopeful that they are still viable. And actually, let's get these out of the package. Again, I'm going to try to pull up pictures, but this is another one where it doesn't say the variety. The package just says rhubarb. So I'm not sure what the variety is. So I'm just calling it rhubarb from Italy. And we'll see when it grows and when I can harvest it, how it tastes. But I'm assuming that they're mostly all the same. Let's see. Oh, this pack has a lot of seeds in it, so I hope that, and you can see here, this is what the seeds look like from that pack. And so, yeah, same thing. I'll get some. I'm going to do 3. It's going to be my number. I think that one has 4. So, yeah, we really enjoy making sweetie treats with rhubarb. I've never made anything savory, though. I think I might try something this year. We'll see. And it's interesting because rhubarb is definitely one of those crops that are, I think it's technically a vegetable. It can be pretty expensive. I mean, you know, you're paying several dollars for a few stalks. And I mean, I can harvest so much from my 2 large established plants. So I've made strawberry rhubarb jam and like little scones, little sweet treats. I put it in muffins and things like that. But I would like to have it where I can make like a year's supply of strawberry rhubarb jam each year, because we really do like it. And other things. So that is our rhubarb from Italy. Our third variety is also technically from Europe. This is a seed pack from years ago when you could get seeds shipped. And I mentioned before that I got a bunch of, well, I don't have a lot of these seeds though. You know, I'm just gonna put one each. Well, I'm gonna put one each, and then if they don't come up, I'll come up, because I don't have a lot in here. I only have 4 more seeds. 5 more. We'll do 1 each. We'll see what happens. I'll hold on to these. I'm going to look to see if I can find more seeds of that variety, or if I have them. Like I said, in February, I'm going to be going through all my seeds, pulling them all together, and getting them organized and keeping a proper inventory of what I have. That way, too, I can see what I need to replace. Yeah. So that is called the Glaskin Perpetual Red Rhubarb. And our 4th and final variety is the one I think we have seen the most. I've seen this in my local nurseries for sale. It's the Victoria Rhubarb. So this pack does have, again, doesn't have, well, I mean, you can't really see much from the picture, right? But it says on here that the Victoria Rhubarb, this is Old English heirloom variety from 1830s, produces sweet, juicy, large-sized, greenish-red stalks, northern perennial, and southern fall annual. Eat the stalks only, leaves are poisonous, yes. And so I think this is, well, this is definitely the variety that I started from seed. And I think it's the variety that was already growing in my garden when we bought the house. So, yeah. So let's see. Oh, good. This pack has a good amount of seeds, so I can do 3 each. Awesome. And the wonderful thing about rhubarb is once it gets big enough, you can actually divide it, and you can keep dividing it. It's a very long-lasting perennial. I personally like the way it looks in the garden just as a plant. And for me, because I have now with my fence such a huge border of just fencing, I'm trying to get as much of that border perimeter filled in with plants, flowers, trees. And so this rhubarb will be a really good filler plant that is also edible. You build your edible landscaping, right? And so I'm excited about that. And I am going to put some out in the front, as I said, just as plants, because the deer will chew on it a little bit in the winter. And I'm going to plant them close to things that I don't want them to chew on. There's some things out there that they are chewing on in the front. And so I'm going to put some of these out here so they can chew on. And when I had it in the back and I noticed that before I had the fencing and the deer would get back there, they would chew on it, but it would regrow. Like I would still get enough. At some point when the plant gets big enough, they would leave it alone, or, they had other things that they could eat. And so that's my hope, is that they'll damage these in the winter and they'll leave some of my other more precious plants alone, that's outside and not protected. So that's it for today. We have gotten a bunch of rhubarb, so we'll have 12 cells. If all the seeds germinate, we will have 36 plants. Hopefully we'll have at least 12. And I will bring you back along and we'll check on the germination and the uppotting and the continuous growth, all the way through to getting them outdoors in the garden in the spring of 2026. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you back here again soon. We're gonna move on to another maybe perennial crop. We'll see. Take good care. Bye. Hey there, Cherie here from At Home with Cherie. I just wanted to share a quick update on my rhubarb. So I have these 2 plants here that I started last year. All right, friends, look at how much these have grown already. They have filled in. The stalks are getting tall. If I look in there, I already see a flower head forming. Can you see that in there? That's a flower head that's going to form. So now I know to go ahead and get rid of that now. And I'll look all in it to see if there's any others. And I'm gonna go ahead and get that cut out. I'm gonna keep these rhubarb really nicely watered. They do sit in full sun. And when I divide these, I will put some more kind of under the tree canopy so that some are in shade. So hopefully I can extend my harvest time from them. But yeah, they're beautiful. There's the other one. So yeah, this weekend will be time to do some perennial dividing. I'm actually going to try to divide some of my hostas for the first time and spread those out a bit more, and then try to get these to grow, basically like another foot, another like 6 to 12 inches, and then I'll start harvesting. All right, that is it for the rhubarb show.